At 18, I left home again, and I took, 13 years on a path away from religion. I knew that Christianity was not what I believed in, based on what was like forced down my throat, and I knew it wasn't for me. And I just went off, did many things from the military to living around the world, just trying to figure things out and figure out who I was. And I told you I'd read Power of Now, and that was the first thing on anything in spirituality since leaving home, where I was like, wow, something shifted here. And coupled with that, this past summer, this was the summer before, I was experimenting with psychedelics, mushrooms in particular. And I'd realized that every time I had done mushrooms, that it gave me that feeling of no mind, that I was able to, sit and just be completely without mind. And growing up, I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, ADHD, was on more medications than you could ever imagine. Things that have, now shown to cause psychosis along the way, addicted to medications. And I could never stop thinking. I was obsessed with thought, obsessed with rituals. And I realized that, one, reading those books and having that crack in me, if you will, and combining this with psychedelics, mushrooms, which are now showing in scientific studies and medical research to kind of access parts of the brain in a different way, I just felt mindless. And I felt this clarity wash over me. And every time that it would happen, I started to learn to meditate while I did it, and things about my family would come up, and they would lead me to want to make those things right, to see them as myself. And I felt good about it. But the first battle in light is when I saw you this summer in London, and we talked about the direct path and this being the indirect path. I was very intrigued. That's probably what's drawn me back to here. Is you somebody asked a similar question, and I guess where my internal conflict has become is, I know from an experiential sense that it helps me, and it brings me to that place I feel closer to myself. And I've tried to.
You mean psychedelics?
Psychedelics. Yeah. So the analogy I give is, I spoke with Justin, who was at the course with me in London. I said, I imagine psychedelics as like a boombox in the corner of the room, and it's playing music, and I can hear it. I'm experiencing that. But if I put the headphones on, I can hear things that I wouldn't normally hear. And when I do the mushrooms and I have that experience, I literally feel like my mind goes away, and I'm able to go inward in a way that when I try in meditation, I feel like I can't. The vulnerability's not there. I'm not able to express the things I wanted to express to my family, be real about the things I wanted to be with myself and the suffering that I've caused. But on the flip side, my mind knows this is impermanent, because as soon as it wears off, where am I? And I've learned that it's when it wears off, the effects in a couple days, I go back up here. And I'm scared to get close to another. I'm scared to face myself. I can still do it. I can meditate. I can go through these meditations, but it's not as clear. It's like listening to music over there versus having the headphones. So where am I at that? Is it wrong to seek? And if I know I'm having that experience that is what I would say making me feel closer, making me come inwards in a sense, I don't know, but I'm doing it because it feels that I am becoming more I am, if you will.
What are you in between two thoughts? Or perceptions?
Nothing.
But you don't cease to exist in between two thoughts.
Yes.
Or perceptions. So what remains of yourself in between two thoughts or perceptions?
What was there before them? Nothing.
And what was there before them is prior to mind, or no mind. Do you need mushrooms to go there?
No.
How accessible now in your experience is that which is present behind and between your thoughts?
Could you say that again?
How available, how available to you now in your experience is that which remains present behind your thoughts and in between your thoughts? This no mind, this that is itself absent of thought.
It's become stronger. I mean, 2 weeks ago was a very big pivotal point, and I expressed to my friend, I said, after this last trip, I realized that the next couple days I was able, when something come up, or if I felt a vulnerability, that I was able to go without thought. I was able to express myself.
If I were to ask you now, what is it that is currently aware of your thoughts or perceptions? What would you say?
Consciousness. A stronger sense of consciousness, or the awareness.
Yes, but what's the common name for that which knows or is aware of our thoughts or perceptions?
Awareness.
Even more common than that, the street name for it.
I'm at a loss here.
I am aware of my thoughts. I am aware of the sight of this room. I am aware of the sound of this voice. Whatever it is that knows our thoughts or is aware of our thoughts and perceptions is not itself a thought or a perception. It's that which knows them. Yes? That's yourself. Not your thoughts, not your feelings, not your perceptions or sensations. But that self is not inaccessible to you. It is that which is aware of your experience. It is present behind, as it were, all experience. It's actually present within all experience. It's not hard to find. Is it not you that is now aware of your experience? Can you not say to yourself, I am aware of my experience now?
Yes.
Now tell us about the I that is aware of your experience. Don't think about it, but just from your current experience. By your experience, I mean your objective experience, thoughts, our conversation, whatever feelings you're having, the sight of this room. But all these objects of experience are known by you. It is I that is aware of them. Tell us about that I from your current experience.
I'm aware of what I'm experiencing.
Tell us about the I that is aware of whatever you are experiencing. Don't tell us about your experience, tell us about the I that is aware of it.
I can't really produce a thought. It's hard to be in my mind.
Perfect. Why not?
Because I'm present.
Okay, so that's one thing you can say about yourself. I am present. What else?
Yeah, I can't say much.
Well, you can say, I am aware. The I that is present is also aware. Hence, I am awareness. But just try. I know it's difficult, but just try to tell us about the nature. If you were to, it's not possible to really say anything accurately about it. I understand that, but just do your best. If you were to use words that were approximately accurate to describe this I that is present and aware of my current experience, what could you say about it? From your experience of it now. That is, from your experience of yourself now.
I feel aware.
Yes. Tell us more about it. What is its nature or its qualities?
I feel peace. I feel that I'm not in my mind at this moment.
Well, isn't that exactly the experience you told us a few minutes ago you got on mushrooms?
Yeah.
You see, these are really good quality mushrooms I'm giving you. You see, right then, you just had direct access to the peace of your true nature, just by asking yourself, what is it that knows my experience? What is the nature of that which knows my experience, that I am? Apart from saying, I am and I am aware, the first thing you said about it was peace. It's a place of no mind, that is no thought or perception. It's the place of peace, it's the place you long for. It's right there, it's just shining right behind every experience. Even in the midst of every experience.
So then to go outward, I believe you refer to it as the tantric, taking that into living, into making things right with another.
Absolutely.
That's where the blockage comes. Because I want to express something that I've just gone inward and felt, and now to express it outwards in another, to see them as myself, and it's like a wall comes up. The ego positions itself. You can't do that, you're going to get hurt. It's going to be painful, it's going to ruin you.
What's your name?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Jeremiah, you are doing now what you are telling us you can't do.
In a safe space. This is where I feel...
Okay, but that's one of the things we provide here is a safe space. But is it? I don't get the impression it's hard for you to be doing this. You're speaking very openly. Yesterday you spoke very openly and very movingly about your relationship with your parents. We were all touched by it. You were very open. You were very undefended. You were very honest. Okay, you're safe here. But just get accustomed to relating in this way, in this safe community of friends. And it's only a small step from here to begin to relate like this with people outside this community of friends.
That's what I'm missing. That's what's caused all the heartaches and suffering in my relationships.
But you'll be surprised, Jeremiah, just the world will respond to this change in you. Just remember the taste or the quality of relationship that you feel here, where you feel safe, you can be open, honest, vulnerable, and just begin to explore this in your relationships. Maybe it's too much with your parents straight away. That's a very intense sadhana. But try it with people with whom you have less charged relationships, more neutral relationships. Even they don't need to be very close relationships. It could be a conversation with a cab driver on the way to the airport. You don't have to tell your whole life story, but you could just be open in the conversation. Just practice having a conversation that is undefended, where you feel you share something of yourself, and you'll feel that the cab driver will respond immediately. He'll tell you a story about his life that he was longing to tell someone. So it doesn't need to be a close friend. Sometimes it's more difficult with a close family member. It's because of the history. It can be with a stranger, and then you feel this quality of intimacy with a stranger who you're never going to see again. But it's a moment of real intimacy because you've just shared openly with them. And then if you start like that, you'll get little confirmations from the world, from the cab driver and the shop assistant, and you'll get little confirmations that it's okay, that it's safe. And that will give you courage, and then you'll try it in more and more circumstances. And then one day you may find yourself with your parents just undefended. Even if they're aggressive or hurtful towards you, you'll find that you don't do the usual contraction. You just stay open.